Hey, Tony Gaskins here. I want to talk to you, talk to the parents. This is a sermon for the parents. Listen to me. With everything in you, take care of yours. With everything in you, take care of yours. Get your life together. Get your life together. You got to work on you. You got to work on you. You got to change you. You got to be different than you have been. You got to be better than your mama. You got to be better than your daddy. You got to be better than your neighborhood, your childhood, your elementary, your middle school, your high school. You have got to be better. You got to break the generational curses. You got to break the generational thought patterns, the generational habits. You have got to break it. You have got to do everything in you to get new knowledge and to enact new knowledge, to apply new knowledge. It's so much in the world that's free. It's so much free knowledge. When you go on YouTube, you can learn almost any and everything in the world. I literally taught myself about finances through YouTube. From people who went to school for it, or people who their daddy taught them or their mama taught them, where I had no clue about it. I learned about it and could win in the stock market, could win even with silly stuff like cryptocurrency that just, popping up and gaining steam. I learned that. Investing in myself, being able to earn a living in my sleep, being able to earn a living without leaving home. This is all stuff I had to teach myself. I had to go out and get the knowledge. So guess what? With all of this stuff that I have learned, I now have shifted the narrative of my family. Now I could teach my sons. Then they could teach their sons. My sons could stand on my shoulders. Then their kids could stand on their shoulders. Before you know it, we touching the sky. So I need you to understand, it is on you to find peace. It is on you to heal. It is on you to find financial freedom. It is on you to get the knowledge that you need. Get off your back. Zip up your pants. Open your mind. Do the work. Sometimes you got to shut your mouth and open your mind. Sometimes you got to get separation from your raggedy friends, raggedy family members who don't want better, who don't want to be better, who don't want to do better. You got to get separation so you can experience elevation. Sometimes you got to be okay watching people struggle because of their choices. Watching people who don't want to do better, don't want to choose better. Let them sit in their consequences from their choices so that they can get a lesson. And in that moment, you are getting a lesson. Listen, everybody has an opportunity to knowledge. If the person you taking care of is not a child under the age of 18 or still in school getting an education so they can't work because they full-time college student, or they're not handicapped, disabled, special needs, if you taking care of grown, musky, able-bodied adults, you got to do better. You got to do better. I'm talking to myself and you. You know what? Adults going to have to learn that you're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to suffer until you learn how to survive, until you learn how to do better. And when you decide that you want something different, if you decide to go and get it illegally, then you're going to have to deal with the consequences. I ain't paying no bond. I ain't paying no attorney fees. You got to sit and get the lesson. Listen, each person has to accept personal responsibility for their lives. We got to stop being soft. We got to stop wanting somebody to talk to us like we a child. We got to stop wanting to be pampered and coddled and our hand to be held. It's people, a lady got reported as spam yesterday for coming on my page. Yeah, being a life coach and a mental health therapist, I would have appreciated a different tone. Block! Block! For one, you're not who I'm talking to. For one, your life a little more advantaged, a little more privileged than the people I'm talking to. Two, if you want to be talked to nicely, that ain't going to stop a child from getting hit by a car in the road. I taught my wife when our son was 2 years old. She'll tell him something and he won't listen. She'll tell him again for him to listen. And I got with my wife, I say, listen to me. You make sure that this boy respond to you on the first time you say something. And it don't matter how real you got to get with him. You got to get in his face and you let him know that the first time you say something, that's when he respond. Ain't no thinking about it. Ain't no question asked. Ain't nothing. If you got to get on his behind, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. That come out the Holy Bible. You hear me? Somebody come and say, what's the difference of a parent spanking their child and a spouse spanking their spouse out of love? The difference is one of you, a parent raising their child. As an adult, you don't need to be raised by another adult. Another adult should never call themselves chastising you by force, putting their hands on you. As a parent, when you spank your child, you're not doing that out of anger. Don't ever put your hand on your child out of anger. When you chastise your child, if you set them in a corner for timeout, if they got the right lines, if they got to open their hand and you popping them with a comb, it's out of love and it's out of consistency and you are under control. There's a difference between love and abuse, and don't ever confuse the two. And when I told my wife that, the example I use, I say, if this boy don't respond to your voice the first time you say something, imagine if he getting ready to chase a ball into the street and a car is coming and you tell him to stop, but because he used to ignoring you, he keep running and he lose his life. Make sure that he knows he has to respond the first time you say something. You hear me? And listen, I got a 14-year-old. And if I got to get in his face and jack him up, if I got to grab him by his collar and hold him up against a wall to get a message through to him, guess what I'm going to do? That's exactly what I'm going to do. You know why? Because the police is killing and asking questions later. The police going to put a bullet in his head. They going to kill him thinking he reaching for a gun when he reaching for his license. Because they will rather be judged by 12 knowing that they going to get acquitted than carried by 6. So they'll take a young black man life for reaching for a comb, for reaching for a brush, reaching for a wallet, reaching for his insurance card. reaching for the weapon that he just told the police he got. He just let the police know, I'm armed. I will take it off of me. Police, if the man wanted to kill you, he wouldn't have told you what he was reaching for. But you know what? They fear riddled, because it's a lot of us that's been painted as monsters. I was sitting here, I'm in my massage chair, and I'm getting up with my business partner today. Go to an NBA game. Watch a young man play that I mentored his team for his last 2 seasons of college basketball, and now he in the NBA. So I'm going to see, hopefully he get to play. And I'm sitting here, I come up here to my gym to do my lower body workout. And I got him a massage chair, and I did about 45 minutes of massage. And I'm on Instagram, I'm letting my phone play. I'm letting my phone play through the reels. And it's taking me all through the crime drama in Chicago streets. It took me all through the drug dealing of Atlanta, where these young men, they killing each other or they selling drugs, and then they decide to become rappers. And so what it's showing me is the same thing that I seen growing up. You could be considered lame and a square, working a regular job like your parents. Or you could be a ball player, a drug dealer, or a rapper. You only shown a few options. And your parents never get ahead. That's why when you make it as a ball player or a rapper, you got to take care of your parents. Because they've been overworked and underpaid. They feel like modern day slaves. So now you feel that you got to take care of them. So you take care of your parents with drug money, or you take care of them with legal money. But 9 out of 10 times your legal money is made from entertaining. A lot of times it's not made from your mind as a black person. A lot of times as a black male specifically, it's made from you entertaining, from you being another kind of modern day slave. And then we take, and because our slave wages are greater, we able to afford to take care of our mama and our daddy, sister, brother, cousin. And now you got one man who made it out, and he put a whole family on his back until he started to drown. And what keep him sane is drugs. Marijuana is a drug. Even if they say it's harmless, it's a drug. It's going to affect you. It's going to change you, and that's why people use it. If it was harmless, then it wouldn't change your chemistry. So it is doing harm, but the harm it's doing is much slower. And that's why people use it. And that's why it's addicting. That's why it changed your life. That's why you're irritable without it. Because if it wasn't harmful, then you wouldn't need it. Because you wouldn't be irritable without it. You wouldn't be anxious without it. You wouldn't get angry without it. It is harmful. And if it ain't marijuana, and sometimes that ain't strong enough for people, so they get into pills. They get into lean. They get into powder. They get into all kind of stuff. And it's because one man got a whole family of able-bodied people on his back, and this man has been made to feel like that he has to take care of his grown sister, his grown brothers, his grown cousins, his grown mama and daddy who not in a wheelchair, who could go to work, who could go work at McDonald's if they need to. We've been made to feel like we got to take care of other grown folks, and then we pat ourselves on the back and we brag about ourselves online, and we say, I'm taking care of my whole family. I'm taking care of my whole family. Yeah, you take care of your whole family, but guess what? Seasons change. And one day your money going to dry up. Your money going to dry up, and if the people ain't around you ain't learn how to take care of themselves, then guess what? You're all going right back to where you come from. The hood, the bottom. So it's about getting knowledge. It's about getting new knowledge. It's about getting education. It's about learning a trade, learning how you could feed yourself, learning how you could fish, learn how to fish. Listen. You got to take care of yourself, and you got to take care of yours. Take care of yourself, and then take care of yours. And if a grown, able-bodied person don't want to learn how to earn a living legally to take care of themselves, then guess what? It's only one place for them, and that's the grave. Because that's where they're going to go anyways, and that's where we all got to go. And if they choose to go there faster, you can't take their place because they didn't want to sacrifice, and they didn't want to learn, and they didn't want to grow, and they want somebody to feel sorry for them when they made decisions in their life. See, listen, to each their own. Everybody got to get it how they live. You got to take care of yourself, and then you got to take care of yours. What I mean by yours, I'm talking about the people that come up out of you, the ones that you done adopted or the ones that you done birthed. That's who you responsible for first. And grown adults got to learn from you. And see, this is the hard message to tell because everybody want to be taken care of. And the people with their hand out and the people who want to be taken care of, those the people that don't want to hear this message. Oh, that ain't right. Everybody got to struggle. Everybody can't make it. Everybody don't have the wisdom to get wealth. Everybody don't have the knowledge. Knowledge is out there. Knowledge free for the most part. You got internet. What you on your phone doing? You watching funny videos or trash videos on Facebook when you could be going through YouTube University. You could be learning how to do eyebrows. You could be learning how to do lashes. You could be learning how to braid hair. You could be learning how to sew. You could be learning how to go to thrift shops and buy stuff for $5 and go and sell it for $10. But instead, we got a mouthful of excuses instead of a mouthful of solutions. And then we want to be pampered. Then we want to be talked to like a baby. Listen, I'm going to produce millions on top of millions because I don't feel sorry for myself. Because I'm not finna sit and sulk and pout. Oh, my daddy wasn't no entrepreneur. So how am I going to be an entrepreneur if my daddy wasn't an entrepreneur? If my mama wasn't no entrepreneur? If my daddy was the baby of 12 and my mama was the baby of 12 and my mama went through a whole lot and all my aunties is drug addicts or alcoholics and all my uncles was drug addicts or alcoholics and all the men in my family beat on the women in my family and all the women in my family got raped. What am I supposed to be? Who am I supposed to come? Who am I supposed to become? How can I become anything when my ancestors were slaves? How can I become anything? Listen, everybody got a sob story. Everybody could feel sorry for them. Oh, I got 2 kids and they're all by myself. Listen, did you lay down to have them? Okay, take care of them. Okay, all right. Somebody push you down to have them. Guess what? Crying about it ain't going to change nothing. Crying about it not going to raise them. We got to stop being soft. We got to stop begging for an excuse. We got to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. I'm turning the comments off. Because we got to stop wanting to talk. And we got to be willing to listen. Do you know how I got to where I could feed my family? I had to shut up and I had to listen. And you know how long I listened? I listened 10 hours a day. I listened 10 hours a day. The people who come to me with their hand out, I will have to ask them, who have you listened to? What knowledge have you listened to 10 hours a day for 5 years straight, 7 years straight? Who have you listened to that's giving the game, that's giving knowledge, that's giving wisdom? Who have you listened? What is you listening to? You listening to Little Baby. You was listening to Little Dirk. That is what you listening to. And guess what? Their music is giving you a blueprint of. Their music is giving you a blueprint of how to slide on somebody. How to kill your ops, how to sell drugs, how to do drugs, how to buy jewelry, and how to make it in a secular industry, making music that will not change nobody's life. That is what you listening to. But yet you want to say, can I borrow some money? It's hard out here. If you feed your mind something different, you're going to get something different. And listen to me, if you're not of this cloth, if you don't know struggle, if you ain't seen struggle, if you ain't come from struggle, if you ain't got no melanin in your skin, then this message probably ain't for you. I'm tired of white people coming on my comments telling me how to talk, and what to say. White women coming on. Listen, if you's a white woman on here and you coming to learn about love and relationships, then do that. But when you hear me talking to somebody who been marginalized, somebody who been ostracized, somebody who been alienated, somebody who been beaten, who been broken, who been robbed, who been stolen from, shut up and get out the way and let the work be done. Because it's a work that got to be done. You know why? Because people killing themselves or being killed. So I get tired of soft people coming on here. And black women too. There was a black woman on here a couple times. It's been some black women. Oh, Tony, you need to change your tone. You need to be calm and relaxed. People are dying. We ain't got no time to be sitting here like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood hollering about, oh, okay. So welcome to the neighborhood, people. Okay, all right, so let me talk to you. Okay, so what I need you to understand, I need you to be mindful. Okay, just be mindful. Listen, we ain't got time for that. You could get killed in a traffic stop right now. People getting shot and killed in traffic stops because they pain done got them a disposition that they got a attitude. And they attitude is reasons, is grounds for them to get killed by the police. Who is Sandra Bland? Did the woman have a knife on her? Did the woman have a gun on her? You know what they thought she had? They thought she had an attitude. Do you know the world she live in? You know what she had to suffer, what she had to go through? She had every right to have an attitude, but guess what? Because of her attitude, that's why they say they killed her. What the man that's still walking around free, you know why he say he killed Trayvon Martin? He ain't like his attitude because he following the boy going home. The boy, hey, what you following me for? He want to jump in and fight the boy, but didn't know the boy was built from something different. The boy know how to fight. So when he went to putting hands on him, he gonna grab a gun and take his life. When he went and instigated it. Your son could be walking home innocent and be killed. And we want to sit here and we want to be pacified. We want our hand to be held. We want somebody to feel sorry for us. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You got to get the knowledge on how to win legally. You got to get the knowledge on how to generate wealth for your family. And then guess what? You know what? Let me tell you something. I accidentally hit the button to stop the video, trying to wipe off my camera. Let me tell you something. Forget generational wealth. You know what generational wealth is? It need to be generational knowledge. Because if your child don't know how to make money, the money you leave your child would kill them. I'm watching generational wealth destroy people. Think about it. Sit down and look around in your city. Look around at your high school, at your college, and think about somebody, if you can, that was left millions of dollars, that was born into millions. And then ask yourself, how well are they doing? 9 out of 10 times they on drugs. 9 out of 10 times they feel entitled. 9 out of 10 times they arrogant, they nasty, and they rude. 9 out of 10 times they condescending. and they're despicable 9 out of 10 times, because what you don't have to work for, you don't know how to appreciate. You know what I'm going to leave my sons? The money going to come in increments, and it's going to be supplemental income. And guess what, son? If you don't want to use your mind to earn a living, then you're going to be broke. Because I refuse to lay up a whole bunch of money that you could just wake up and walk into, that you don't know what it took to get it. You don't know the sacrifice it took to get it. Because do you know I'm faithful to your mama 100%? Do you know that I don't get drunk? Do you know that I don't get high? Do you know that I don't masturbate? Do you know that I don't watch pornography? Do you know that I don't gamble? Do you know that I feed my mind day in and day out? Do you know that? That's what produced my wealth. That's what produced my living. And if you're unwilling to sacrifice, then you don't deserve to succeed. Listen to me. People come to me, grown people come to me with their hand out. Can I borrow this? Can I borrow this? But don't want to sacrifice at all. Don't want to go through at all. I had to go through evictions. I had to go through repossessions. I had to go through 400, 500 credit score. I had to go through collections. I had to go through court order. I had to go through everything you got to go through to learn how to get to learn how to succeed. And this is what we don't want in our world. This is what we don't want in our life. And that's what's hurting us. Listen to me. Listen to me. I got to go and get my little workout because I got to get going. Listen to me. You got to take care of yourself, and you got to take care of yours. You better get your mind right. You better get them vices out your life. Get them vices out your life. Get your mind right. Start living right. Start eating right. Start thinking right. Start sleeping right. Start doing right. And everything you learn, every single day, you need to be teaching your child a new lesson. Every single day, you need to teach your child a new lesson so that your child have a blueprint for life. If you right now learning how to build a YouTube channel, teach your child how to build a YouTube channel. You right now learning how to make money, how to climb the corporate ladder, how to get a raise, how to get a promotion. Teach your child how to do the same thing, because your tomorrow is not promised. Your child need to know everything you know to this moment, right now today. Teach them at 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. Don't wait till they're 18 to try to give them a life lesson. Stop spoiling your child and not requiring nothing of them. My son got everything he could think of, but guess what? He also got straight A's and no A minuses. He had to earn it. He had to earn it. And if his grades drop, somebody in the comments asking, is an A minus, is anything wrong with an A minus? Yes, it absolutely is, because he's capable of an A. So if he's capable of an A, why am I going to let him settle for an A minus? That's our problem, is we settling for less than what we worth. We settling for less than what we capable of doing. You got to be at your best. You got to operate at your highest level. You got to go to the next level. You got to refuse to be outworked. You got to refuse to be outdone. You got to be at your best. You got to stop feeling sorry for yourself. You got to stop comparing yourself. You got to stop feeling like somebody got something that you don't got. Feeling like somebody got an advantage that you don't got. And you got to look at your advantages. You got to look at who you are, and what you're capable of. And you got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. You got to do. You got to invest in yourself. I remember paying $1,300 for a seminar ticket. And I ain't barely had no money. I remember going to a seminar that cost $300 and buying a course that cost $100 and that cost $1,000, and all I had was $100. Come here, son. Come here. Mama just went to drop T off. Where you was at? Where were you?
In my room.
In your room? What you doing?
Taking a nap.
You was taking a nap? Okay. Mama just went to drop T off for tutoring. He getting math tutoring. I love you. All right. That's my baby boy. That's my baby boy. See, you see what I'm saying? That's my baby boy. So my energy have to shift when new energy come into the room. Because this right here, I'm talking to adults. This right there, I'm talking to a 7-year-old. What men need to understand, your strength is in your gentleness. So when my son come in the room, son, what you doing? I'm in here working. I'm not finna do that because that's my baby. My tomorrow not promised. Now, when I need to chastise him, when I need to get with him, my energy is different. But he also got to understand love. He got to understand patience. He got to understand temperance. So I'm not going to talk to my child like he nobody. You see what I'm trying to tell you? It's a balance. You got to understand a balance. You got to understand what is appropriate and what's not appropriate. And you got to understand timing, when you should and when you should not. Get firm with your child. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times we think love is just being hard, just coming down hard. When he opened the door and he heard me talking to adults, he paused. He didn't say a word. And he was getting ready to walk right back down them stairs. But then I welcomed him in. Cool, calm, and collected. So now he know, okay, this is a safe space. My daddy working, but he acknowledged me still. You see what I'm saying? It's a balance. It's development. It's personal development. You got to get beyond your trauma. You got to get beyond your generational issues that was passed down, that bad temper that you got from your mama or that you got from your daddy or your grandma or your auntie, your uncle, your granddaddy. You got to get beyond that, and you got to develop as a person. You got to embrace development. You got to embrace somebody getting in your face and being firm with you as an adult, because you're an adult. Because you could get killed in a traffic stop. Because your tomorrow could be ended. Because your future is not promised. Because today is the only cash you have. Somebody wrote a quote. It say yesterday is a canceled check. Tomorrow is a promissory note. Today is the only cash you have. Spend wisely. You got to be ready and willing to grow. You got to be, or life gonna chew you up and spit you out. Stop listening and not doing. And when you get a lesson, apply it. Get better. Get better. And listen, get better in every area of your life. You know, my weakest area right now is taking care of my body. And yes, you could look at me and say, Tony, you don't look bad. Guess what? This a B+. Or it might be an A-. But if I'm capable of an A, I want an A. I don't want a C+. I don't want a B-. I don't want a B+. I don't want an A-. I want an A. If I'm capable of an A. Now, if I ain't have one leg, if I ain't have one arm, if I couldn't lift no weight, if I was in a wheelchair, then I might not be capable of having the same exact body I could have with 2 arms and 2 legs and can walk and run. But if I could do, then I'm going to do. And if I was in a wheelchair, guess what? It's an A body in a wheelchair. And I want that A body. And I'm finna do what I could do from my wheelchair. You hear what I'm telling you? I want the best that God has for me. I don't want average. I don't want mediocre. I don't want to settle, because I'm passing through here. And I want to pass through fly. I want to pass through best. I want to pass through with God-like excellence. I want everything God got for me. Everything. Not a little bit of thing. Not something. I want everything God got for me. And so I got to be aligned for what is mine. I got to be aligned for what is mine. Listen to me. You finna see another level. And when I talk to you, I tell you, you talking to a billionaire. You know why? Because I got a $1 billion marriage. I got $1 billion kids. And I got a $1 billion business mind. And I speak it because I believe it. And I speak it because it's unrealistic for a black man who who come from what I come from without a college degree to believe on the level that I'm believing on. And I'm trying to tell you, you better believe something different. I'm watching single mothers make millions of dollars. Black women make millions of dollars because they went out and got the knowledge on how to do something that'll earn them a living. And now their kids is eating. Do you know a lady paid tithes? She paid tithes to me. She said, Tony, thank you. And she said this was for 1 month of income. Do you know what she earned in 1 month of income? It's almost double what your child's school teacher earned in a year. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I'm watching people get knowledge. People from poor states, people from poor families get knowledge and apply knowledge and then win because it's available to everybody. But you either got an excuse or you got action. You either gonna make excuses or you gonna make changes. Listen, change yourself in every area of your life. Invest in yourself in every area of your life. Seek perfection. People say, oh, don't chase perfection. That's demoralizing. The Bible say, Jesus say, be perfect as my Father in heaven is perfect. It's not saying that you're going to catch it, because in the same Bible, it say every man will fall short of the glory of God. So how he tell us to be perfect and he tell us everyone going to fall short? He letting you know that it's a difference between pursuing a goal and what you actually achieve. But when you set your sights high on high and you pursue that, you're going to catch everything in between. And you just might hit your goal. But at least you're going towards something instead of settling for less than God's best for you. You're going towards something and you saying, I'm going to get what God got for me. And I'm going to stop letting people tell me what is impossible. I'm going to stop letting people. I got a friend who is a billionaire in generational wealth. And sometimes I'll go to him with an idea. And he'll say, hey, instead of starting that company, why don't you just join a company like it that already exists? Because that's theirs. And I don't want what somebody else done built. That's why my quote went viral. And they trying to figure out who the quote come from. The quote come from the Spirit of God. And it say, if you don't build your dreams, someone will hire you to help them build theirs. You know how I know I wrote it? Because I put too many words in it. And now the revised version is the proper English version that you see online. Go to Google and type in, if you don't build your dreams. An Indian family tried to steal the quote and attribute it to an Indian billionaire who died in 2002. That man ain't say that. They don't even talk like that. But his sons took over his company. When you search, if you don't build your dreams, and you click on images, you're going to see these images come up. And a lot of them up under it's going to say Tony Gaskin. And you know where I wrote the quote at? I pulled up to my job. And I'm sitting outside of this old raggedy house that costs $800 a month in the middle of the hood. And inside of there is 6 disabled men. And I'm getting ready to go in there and relieve a staff. And I'm getting ready to go in there and relieve a staff. And I'm finna go in there and get my $9.50 an hour. But this organization make a couple million a year. And they make a couple million a year. And they pay me $9.50 an hour. That turned out to $20,000. $20,000 a year. And as I was sitting there getting ready to go in that job, I opened my phone and I opened Twitter. And I sent a tweet out and I said, if you don't build your dreams, someone will hire you to help them build theirs. Send. And I got it and I went in that job. But every day I went in that job with a purpose. Every day I went in that job with a purpose. They say, Tony, you want to work some overtime? No. because my overtime is on my overgrind. I'm working on me. I can't come to your job extra because I'm not finna be at this job. I'm finna be up off of this job. I'm giving this job 5 years. Guess what? 4 years and 10 months, I walked away from that job. I walked away from that job. And I went into working for myself. And I went from $20,000 a year to the first time I counted my income as a full-time entrepreneur, it was $147,000 in a year. And guess what? It was not from relationship coaching. And that's what a lot of people get wrong. They think people who talk on relationships is just doing it for the money, and there was no money in it. I had to put multiple gifts together. Ghostwriting, author consulting, one-on-one life coaching, group coaching, speaking, professional speaking, paid speaking, book sales. I had to put several things together in order to earn that living to feed my family. And eventually, that company that had all these employees and all of these group homes, what they was bringing in a year, God blessed me for me, myself, as an individual, to get on that level. To get on the level of a company, of a whole company with multiple staff. God said, let me show you what I could do through you. What I could do in your life. But see, I had to get a line for mine. You got to get a line for yours. You got to stop waiting. You got to stop begging. You got to stop asking for a handout. You got to stop moping. You got to stop complaining. And you got to change. You got to grow. You got to work on you. And then make sure you take care of yours. Work on you and take care of yours. See, show me with your actions that you love yourself. Show me with your actions that you love yourself. This is what we don't realize. This is what we don't realize. People, listen, first, take care of your temple. Get that weight off of you. That's the first thing you could do. Get that weight off of you. Because that's your body is your temple. You got to live in that. So do you want to live in a coffin? Take care of you first. Feed your mind at the same time. Because that's your temple. That's what's going to determine the quality of your life is the quality of your mind. The quality of your thoughts will determine the quality of your life. So work on you. And after you have worked on you, then guess what? Now you're going to see the byproduct. Because the reason why you see some people winning is because they worked on them. So the world want to celebrate somebody who done took care of their mind. The world want to follow somebody who done fed their mind because they giving them the game. Because they teaching them something. But they able to teach something because they was willing to learn something. They was willing to study something. The world want to give something to somebody who done took care of their body. You know why? Because they look good. Because they look good. Now the world want to just, hey, here goes some free clothes. Here goes some free money. Here goes some free sponsorship. Here goes this right here. Here goes, all the person did was get in a gym. And now the world want to roll out a red carpet for them. And then we want to sit there and we want to complain about that ain't even fair. While we eating our chocolate cake, we want to be mad because this woman over here, this man over here got in the gym and now they make 7 figures because they dedicated themselves in the gym and they got sponsorship because their body look nice. We can't be mad at them. We can't be mad at them. The relationship coach, one of the relationship coaches who was cheating on his wife and got exposed, didn't even have a following because of what he was saying. He had a following because he had muscles. Because women want to look at some muscles, a chest. You know why I'm in the gym? I ain't in the gym for no woman. I ain't in the gym. The only woman I want to look sexy to is my wife. But you know why I'm in here? Because my mama got diabetes and diverticulitis. My daddy got diabetes. My daddy whole family, he the baby of 12. He just for once had a brother, lived past the age of 70. I think he died at 71. That's the oldest one of my daddy's siblings have lived to see. All the rest of them died before 60 or before 65 from diabetes, health complication. That's why I'm in the gym. Because this is my temple and I got to take care of me. And guess what? I watch my family, see their family die, see their family struggle, and still not find the dedication and the motivation to love themselves on another level. Because self-hate has been passed down. Self-hate has been running through our veins. And the only thing that we think gonna solve our problems is money. When money don't solve your problems, money bring you more problems. It'll answer some things. But for everything it answers, it's gonna create something else. What's gonna help you is peace of mind and self-love. That's what's gonna carry you through your days. And that's what we got to realize and understand. Hey, this is Tony Gaskin. God bless you. We'll talk soon.